education. So I have many seniors that are graduating, and I thought I'd throw a little video together for those individuals, giving them the spiel of the college and, you know, what college is. So college, and I kind of make this speech on a, like almost, it's an individual basis. You know what I mean? Like my first question always to an individual is, does that excite you? Does it excite you? If their answer is yes, I drop it completely. Okay? They are excited about going to college, and exactly that's where they need to be. Okay? Until they don't find it exciting anymore. Then, and only then, again, this is with all things in life, if something does not excite you, it is only a belief that you have to be there. A belief that something bad could happen if you stop doing that thing. So, college is a great permission slip for individuals. Let's say, for example, I want to be a scientist. And I said, well, you know what? I just don't know how to learn or where to start. So I need a teacher. Okay? So I go to school to be a scientist. And then I start doing scientific stuff. And I get excited about it. I'm like, oh man, this is great. I'm a scientist. I can do some science stuff. I can blow things up, all that good stuff. And my joy and my excitement in science will start changing my entire world, literally, to match that and support me in all aspects of being a scientist. The idea that I was a scientist is a suit that I put on that I can take off at any time whatsoever and be anything else I want to be. School is a permission slip, like college is a permission slip, to get from point A to point B as the world has kind of laid it out for us. Okay? It doesn't have to be that way, though. And you find this all the time. Look at individuals that have never been to college whatsoever. And they just followed what they really liked doing. And all of a sudden, they became abundant. And when I mean abundant in things, I don't mean like highly paid all the time. What I mean by abundant is they like doing it, they're passionate about it, and everything in their life seems to be given to them. Whatever is needed to follow that will be given to them. You'll also see this many times when people go to college and they decide to be something else. Let's say the scientist got really into audio engineering, okay, and he got into rap. Then all of a sudden he was like, wow, I never knew I was a sound engineer. How weird that some of my science now translates into sound engineering. And then they follow that excitement and they become now a sound engineer. And then a week later, they drop that because it's not exciting anymore and they go on to something else. You see this more often now in younger adults. Like the idea that you're going to have a career for 30 odd years is very rare. And I totally agree with this because I am totally a victim of it myself. I like teaching, but the topic I like teaching changes all the time based upon my interests. And sometimes my interests, my true interests, I know blends into teaching. So I go with that flow, whatever, and I get into all kinds of crazy stuff that way. Ask anybody that I teach. I am very schizophrenic with my learning because everything excites me. And I like that. So if you go to school, just, you should probably, or go to college, you should probably think about this. I don't like to push individuals to say you should do this or do that. But one thing I will say is you always change. You always change based upon whatever you're interested in and whatever you're excited about. And that will match your reality. Your reality will match that, and it will totally support you in all ways. So if you do choose the route of college, maybe you should think about generality. You know what I mean? Generally, you know that it's a subjective piece of paper that individuals need to, because that's the way they believe. Society is taking this piece of paper and saying, okay, now you're ready for society. You can't go beyond your belief system until you clean out your beliefs. That's one thing. So if you believe something else, you can bypass that altogether. I won't get into that. But if your belief system states that you need this piece of paper in order to be X, then start by thinking general. And that's what I mean by a degree in general ed or something like that. Math, English, science. Some colleges have this. And then while you're going through that, follow your excitement and see where it leads. And you might find that you're paying a little less for college that way. So that's what I have to offer, is make sure that you change all the time. Always. And leave it open to that as being okay. I think, I have students that change degrees 7 times over. They're just following different paths, and they decide that path isn't good, so they go to another path. And they found that path is not good, so they go to another path. This is awesome. They're finding out who they're not. Good for them. It does cost a little bit, but it's okay there too, because they're going to have whatever they need to pay off whatever debt they need, because at least they're not going into a field that they're not. Okay? So that's another thing. As long as you're following that path, you're finding out who you're not, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So don't feel flaky as you're going through college. You weren't meant to be a thing to begin with. So if you're trying to be a scientist for 30 odd years because your parents told you have to be a scientist for 30 odd years, and it's feeling kind of awkward, that's a good thing to feel awkward about that. So follow your belief system, not other people's belief system, even my own, even me. Okay? Follow your own built-in teacher. You have that always within you. I don't believe I ever needed a teacher for anything. Ever. I don't remember ever getting along with any of my teachers. I was a terrible student. Absolute terrible student. And I know why now. Because that makes me a really good teacher. Because I know that there is no such thing as a teacher. A teacher is a permission slip. And a teacher, it's none of, as long as you know this. So teaching is an art form. It is. It is a good way to bolster people into already knowing they're awesome. And that's how I know teaching is a good thing. So I don't teach a topic. I teach that you're already awesome. That's all it is. You already are awesome. You don't need a teacher to tell you that. You can learn anything you freaking want at any one time, and you already have the answer contained within your whole being. All you do is have to ask the question, and your reality will support your answer. If you want to be a scientist, start by being a scientist. Go start doing something small, whatever you need to start. And you'll find that as you do this over and over and over again, you'll learn at such a high pace. It's such an incredible pace on things that in a week, sometimes, in 2 days, I feel like I got something down pat. Something I didn't even know I could ever do. If I can do that, you can do that too. Because there's no difference between me and you at all. All right. So I hope this helps. Really, it's meant to kind of push your idea system just a little bit beyond what you're already accustomed to and push you past your idea of what society is. Just because you think you need college, make sure you're doing that for an excitement and not because you feel that you lack something like education. If you feel like you are lacking, how educated you are to be somebody, start out small in whatever field that you're interested in and start just following your joy and excitement in that field, one step at a time, whatever your belief system supports, until you find out for yourself. Do that for me. Maybe do that before you even think about going to college. Take a week off. Try it. All right? If not, go to college. It's good for you, too. All things are good for you. You'll relate to all kinds of people that way. Cool. I hope you enjoyed.